Hey everyone, it's Mineral Chief, and today we're going over 9 of the essential minerals, and the theme of the discussion is centered around metabolism and how do we boost it. So what boosts metabolism? I think traditionally we've referred to spices and a big breakfast as one of the key simple ways to boost metabolism. And while I think one of those are true, they don't strike the heart of metabolism. And I believe that minerals are what boosts metabolism. But more importantly, let's reframe this here and discuss this from the perspective of restoring metabolism, because 93% of the population right now are metabolically impaired, meaning there's an inability or a reduction in the sensitivity to insulin. And so carbohydrates are a big problem now. And I think that's why the low carb trend is so huge at this time. Insulin sensitivity, minerals are important for electron transport. They are enzyme cofactors, and they balance oxidation within the body. And this is just a handful of some of the things that minerals do from a very bird's eye perspective. As we get into a little bit more specifics now with magnesium, which is one of the critical electrolytes, magnesium is crucial for the activity of ATP synthase, simply for energy. Hexokinase, an enzyme involved in the first step of glycolysis, an early step to generate energy again. And DNA polymerase, essential for DNA replication and repair. So this is a cofactor for over 300 enzymes involved in vital biochemical reactions, including energy production, DNA synthesis, and muscle relaxation and contraction. And that's wrong actually, because it's involved in 3,000 enzymes. So the importance of what we attributed to magnesium is now 10x with 3,000 enzymes instead of only 300. Sodium, the master electrolyte of the body, indirectly influences enzyme activity by maintaining osmotic balance, regulating fluid volume, and facilitating nerve impulse transmission. Super important for kidney function. And potassium also plays a key role in maintaining cellular electrical balance, nerve signal transmission, and muscle contraction. Potassium indirectly influences enzyme activity by maintaining proper cellular ion concentrations and membrane potentials. And in more simple terms, I think potassium is very key for maintaining the solubility of calcium so that it does not accumulate and calcify tissues. Said that 90% of men are deficient and 99% of women are deficient in this really critical electrolyte. Iodine, one of the white hats of the halogen family that can push out bromide and fluoride and chlorine from blocking the iodine receptors in the body, removing their inhibition on many of our enzymes that they're so well known to cripple. It's a structural component of thyroid hormones that regulate the basal metabolic rate. And simply put, without iodine, you don't have a functioning thyroid. Thyroid hormones regulate the activity of numerous enzymes throughout the body. Selenium, it's important for selenoproteins. It converts T4 to T3 and participates in the production of androgens in reproductive organs. So, your testosterone, your estrogen cannot be properly synthesized without selenium and the selenoproteins that it produces. So it's also a component of glutathione peroxidase. This is an enzyme that helps protect cells from oxidative damage by catalyzing the reduction of hydrogen peroxide and organic hydroperoxides to water and oxygen. It's directly involved in at least 25 selenoproteins. It's important for antioxidant defense via glutathione peroxidases, thyroid hormone metabolism via iodothyronine deiodinases, and regulation of redox balance via thioredoxin reductases. Say that 10 times fast. So molybdenum, super important. Probably one of the most underrated essential minerals that I see right now. It aids in our metabolism of sulfur and aldehydes. It's important to prevent manganese accumulation. It's involved in over 50 enzymes, and these enzymes play essential roles in metabolic and detoxification pathways. Zinc, similarly, it's crucial for processing of aldehydes. It's one of the most vital components of metallothioneins, along with copper and selenium. Metallothioneins are very important for regulating the levels of minerals inside of our body, but they're extremely important and one of the most potent rescuers of mercury toxicity and other heavy metal toxicity, and being able to push out excess iron. These are some of the most potent metabolic inhibitors. Heavy metals are some of the most powerful arresters of mitochondrial function. And so without metallothioneins and the 3 essential minerals that increase metallothionein production in the liver, we are prone to becoming very, very toxic in heavy metals. So zinc works with copper to convert superoxide into oxygen and hydrogen peroxide. This is the superoxide dismutase enzyme that it's involved with. It's involved with over 300 enzymes, and these enzymes participate in a wide range of biological processes, including DNA synthesis, protein metabolism, immune function, and cell division. And zinc's best friend, copper, is required for collagen production via lysyl oxidase. It's a vital member of the electron transport chain in the mitochondria for generation of ATP. This would be more specifically known as cytochrome C oxidase, cytochrome copper oxidase. It's actually in the name of the enzyme. It's a very crucial part of it, again. And it's important for the stability of retinol binding protein. Copper is a cofactor for 34 enzymes, including iron metabolism via ceruloplasmin. Without copper, our metabolism of iron really begins to shut down. This is why I always recommend someone explore copper before supplementing with any iron, as it's equally important to be careful of consuming more of minerals that we might already be too high of, especially when that mineral happens to be iron, and iron happens to be a heavy metal. It accumulates in tissues and often won't even show up on a full Monty iron panel in high numbers, even if someone has high tissue iron. Transferrin, serum iron, ferritin, and other iron markers won't be a good reflection of tissue stores of iron. Another really important and a close friend of copper is manganese. Manganese is required for collagen production via lysyl oxidase, similarly to where copper is, although it kind of is a sidekick to copper in this respect. Required for glutamine synthetase, which is involved in the metabolism of glutamate and ammonia. And glutamate and ammonia is, it's good that the metabolism of that is happening correctly, because it's going to be a precursor to glutamylcysteine, which is going to be a precursor to glutathione when your body connects glutamylcysteine and glycine together to form glutathione. And it's going to use magnesium and ATP as a cofactor for that. So manganese is also a cofactor for MN-SOD, which is another superoxide dismutase enzyme that turns superoxide into hydrogen peroxide. Important for a lot of enzyme reactions. And I think hydrogen peroxide can also be utilized by TPO in the thyroid peroxidase. So interesting tidbit there. A little known fact, it's also important for bone development and neurotransmitter synthesis. and it's involved in over 300 enzymes in the body. Manganese actually could very well be the most underrated mineral aside from molybdenum, but I would say molybdenum first because a lot of the times people have a lot of trouble introducing manganese, and it's the same for copper. Copper and manganese are one of the two hardest minerals to introduce into the human body, partly because manganese tends to accumulate a lot when metabolism is shut down, and copper is very reactive when it doesn't have all of the cofactors in place to be able to regulate it, and you have other minerals balancing the antioxidant pro-oxidant balance. When it comes to minerals, a lot of them are pro-oxidants and some of them are antioxidants, and I think lately in our health culture we've had this obsession with antioxidants. It's almost said that you can't get enough antioxidants, but this couldn't be further from the truth, because if we just fill our body with antioxidants, then we are massively out of balance. We need a balance of pro-oxidation and antioxidation. To be able to weld the car together, you need a lot of heat. And so, cool down, heat up, cool down, heat up. In life, we see this symbiotic relationship, this homeostasis, this redox balance. And there's all kinds of companies that have made it a part of their marketing schemes to sell you things you don't need, that will claim to correct your redox balance or your alkalinity and acidity, when in reality, this is something we do with essentials, essential nutrients, essential minerals. We balance the redox state of our body. We balance the acidity of our body with these things. Balance like the electrical potentials within muscle and cardiac cells with balancing all of the different electrolytes. And this concept of balance has been attributed perhaps to the wrong things, maybe because minerals are too cheap and we can't patent them, when taken in proper ratios, actually correct a lot of diseases that large pharmaceutical corporations can make a lot of money off of. So it stands to reason that we're going to see a lot of misinformation campaigns, and that we're going to be seeing a lot of efforts to smear some of the most powerful disease destroyers that we have. So get ready for it. We're in the real heat of the moment because, currently we're at the peak of the chronic health epidemic. Is this actually the peak though, or are we going to see things escalate even further from this? I think you have the power to stop that, and I think we together can put an end to pharma's tyrannical reign here on this earth.